A good engineer can solve anything given enough time or money. So much time is spent diving into their craft, perfecting every little detail, making them a strong performer at their job. However, there are a few key differences between a good engineer and a great engineer. A good engineer will be able to take a complex problem and solve them in pretty straightforward ways. However, a great engineer can come up with really creative, out-of-the-box solutions that most people wouldn't have thought of. And one of the biggest things that I've identified with the engineers that can come up with the creative solutions is most of them have a hobby outside of engineering. Today, I'm gonna break down why every engineer needs a hobby, what my favorite hobby is, and how it helps impact my career. Let's hop into the video. And so it's a really interesting thing to think about, right? These soft skills or skills outside of technical knowledge that you learn can really be applicable to a job. Most hobbies or activities that you do are typically just done for a purpose of enjoyment. But the interesting thing is
that when you perform a hobby, a lot of the time you're acquiring skills that you didn't even think of. People who make YouTube videos, for example, improve their public speaking skills. People who participate in improv can likely think quicker on the fly than someone who doesn't. And finally, photographers can likely identify subtleties just by looking at something. Not only that, it helps break routine.
By you performing actions outside of a routine, your brain will start to associate different stimuli with different events that are occurring. And when a problem comes up in the future, you may start to react to a situation differently based around the stimulus that occurs. One of the aspects that makes hobbies so incredible, if not relaxing, is that most hobbies take place in a judgment-free zone. One of the reasons that an individual often fails to be creative is they'll often think that others may perceive what they're doing as dumb, and then their reputation will be tarnished. I know with me, I tend to lean on the side of a people pleaser. So if I'm suggesting an action or something for a group, I'm afraid of what others will think of my suggestions, and if they don't like it, it might make me think that they're gonna think negatively of me. In reality, this is usually just often in one's head. But the beauty of a hobby is that fear of judgment goes away completely. When you create something or perform a hobby, you have the choice whether or not to show it off or not. If you want to be an artist in your own room and have nobody ever see your work, that's completely fine. Nobody says you have to share anything. When you remove the notion that something has to be done for a career or to support a family or to make money, freedom of creativity is just allowed to flow. One of the reasons why putting aside time for a hobby is super valuable and super effective is it affects the reward system within the brain. When you take part in anything that you enjoy, hobbies typically being one of them, neurotransmitters in your brain release a chemical called dopamine. These feel-good chemicals in your brain often make you want to do the hobby again and again and make you feel more and more motivated to do so. Not only that, with a hobby, you're often left with an end product. When you're able to finally see the end result of all the work that you've put in for years and years of time, nothing feels more rewarding. And the other reason why hobbies are super impactful and super beneficial is they help escape daily stresses. I'm sure everybody in the world can tell you that when you do something you enjoy, you don't really feel stressed. But did you know that this is actually scientifically backed? A study from the University of Utah showed that an individual's cortisol level reduced by up to 75% after making art. This shows that even at a chemical level, performing hobbies can help reduce the stresses that an individual may have throughout the day. And when your stress levels are down, your body feels better, you feel healthier, and you can carry that happiness and motivation into everything else you do throughout the day. Now I can share some of the ones that work for me. Back in 2022, I made it a goal of mine to try a new hobby every single month to see what stuck. I'll likely make a video about this series because I learned so much in each one, and I find it really interesting how people latch onto hobbies and how new ones are made. But in terms of my hobbies and what stuck, there's always been one throughout my entire life, and that's been the guitar. There's just something about a guitar that's super special. When I'm in a room ready to practice and that door is shut, nothing else in the world matters anymore. I don't think about work. I don't think about business. I don't think about social media. Hell, I don't even think about the text that I'm getting. Music's allowed me to feel really special in that way, and it's helped open my mind and brains to new possibilities. When you follow a feeling, it might lead to new ideas, and becoming more confident in those ideas carry on to so many different aspects of your life. My music's for me and me only. And as soon as you learn this confidence and the different things that you do just from a hobby, it allows me to take that confidence and apply it to my work life. Apply it to decisions that I make at work. If I feel passionately about something, emotionally and driven, why not take that same feeling that I get from making music and apply it to an idea that I have in the workplace? All of these thoughts stem from having a hobby. I love that thing.